Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match review for our friendly match against Everton. I say friendly match, but the way Everton were playing that game with the tackles, it didn't seem like a friendly match, but we'll come to that. So, as always, we will do a quick review and quick player ratings of the game. It won't be too long because, this game was played at crazy hours. So, hopefully, for the guys who didn't get to watch it, you get to see this in the morning and whatever time you're going to watch it. So, as usual, let's go through the starting lineup, how the game went, and also the player rating. So this that's definitely not the lineup. This was Arsenal's lineup from today. We had Gabriel, Saliba, Cedric, Tavares, and Tana as the back five. We had Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard in midfield. We had Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus up front. And then on the bench, you had Okonkwo, Niles, Bellerin, Pablo Mari, Walters, Holding, El Neni, Lokonga, Torreira, Pepe, Nelson, Balogun, and Ketia. So at halftime, we did take off Odegaard, Partey, Jesus, Saka, Cedric, Tavares. We brought in Holding, El Neni, Ketia, Pepe, Bellerin, and Niles. And then in the 69th minute, Mari came on, Walters came on, Lokonga came on, Nelson came on, Gabriel, Saliba, Xhaka, and Martinelli all went off. So that was Arsenal's lineup for today. In terms of Everton's lineup, they did play a back five. I found that very interesting. They had Pickford, Godfrey, Mina, Holgate, and Nkunku, Patterson. They had Davis, Doucouré, Ali in midfield, and then Gray, Calvert-Lewin up front. So those are the two lineups from today. A lot of our players are still not there. Tomiyasu still hasn't played. Fabio Vieira. We didn't have players like Smith Rowe today, but the players who played definitely fantastic, especially in the first half. The one positive that you can take from today, in case you didn't watch the match, is the pressing from Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli. Anytime Everton's defenders had the ball, the pressing was crazy. Like they did not have any time to stay with the ball for even more than 5 seconds because Jesus was. And remember, it's a friendly. It's very good to see that kind of attitude in a friendly match from Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka up front. Really, really good to see. So, there was a very quick start in the first 2 minutes. It should have been like 2 goals ahead. And then Jesus had a penalty appeal in the 13th minute. It got rejected as always. We don't get penalties, even if it's a friendly. Arsenal will never get penalties. And then Jesus had a shot saved in the 14th minute. Xhaka did hit the post in the 15th minute. In those first 15 minutes, we looked very threatening from set pieces once again. Just like last season, we scored from a lot of corners, especially. We are looking very good from corners once again. And I talked about Cedric in the match build-up. Cedric's corners today were very good once again. That's that corner for Xhaka. It hit the post. That could have been a goal. Cedric's corners were very, very good today. And then Tana had his first save in the 21st minute. And then Dele Alli tried to dive, as always, in a friendly match, by the way. And then we actually scored from a corner. So again, Cedric with another good corner. And then it landed on none other than, oh my goodness, Gabriel Jesus, guys. We are already falling in love with this guy. This is now we've played those 2 games that he started, those actual preseason games. He scored already a lot of goals, and he even played enough. There's a time we played Arsenal versus Arsenal right after the Nuremberg game, I think, and Jesus scored again, but they never even told about us. But the way he's scoring goals, really, really good to see. He could easily have had a hat trick against Nuremberg. He scored twice. He scored again today. He scored in a behind closed doors match against the Arsenal's other Arsenal side. Really, really good to see. He's looking very sharp. It was a very, very good finish. It's the kind of finish that if you just like waste like 1 second, the defenders will be there. Like he knows how to control the ball and he knows how to finish. There were like a lot of people on the line and he knows how to put it in the top corner from a close angle. Really, really good to see Jesus firing in the goals. That is what we needed. Jesus scoring the goals. Really, really good to see. It's worth it staying up for this many hours just to see Jesus scoring the goals. And then right 2 minutes later, Jesus made a run passing like 3 or 4 players and then assisted Saka's goal, basically almost all Jesus's work, and made it 2-0. It's very good to have a number 9 like that, a number 9 who can actually run with the ball, and a number 9 who has different styles of play, running in behind the defenders, running on the left, running on the right. It's very good to see it, and Saka converted it to make it 2-0. I have a feeling this will be a very, very good combination. Saka, Martinelli, and also Jesus, and we're talking about adding a new wing and Paqueta. What? That would be fantastic. Like this forward line, I don't mind this forward line starting in the first game. Like Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus in the first game, I wouldn't mind it at all. These guys look very, very sharp. They look very, very good. The way they're pressing together, the way they are like passing the ball to each other with the 1-2s, crossing the ball. It seems like Gabriel Jesus has been playing with Saka for like 10 years. The way they complement each other on the pitch, it's very, very good to see, man. I cannot wait for next season to get started. So that was the first half. A lot of the things happened in the first half. There wasn't really anything happening in the second half, apart from a couple of times where Everton tried to break our players' legs. They tried that on Jesus in the first half, and Ateta just decided at halftime, I am going to take off Saka, I am going to take off Jesus, Partey, and all these guys, because Everton started to play rough, and I don't like that. In a friendly match, I don't see why you should be that rough. So we had to take off the likes of Odegaard and all those players just to make sure they don't break our players' legs. And then in the second half, we didn't really create much, but they didn't really create much. So it was a matter of just get away with this win. We got a clean sheet as well. Always welcome. That is our first clean sheet of the preseason so far. So that is definitely welcome. So we made 10 changes in total at halftime in the 69th minute. Only Matt Turner played the entire 90 minutes. So good to see, man. Another good victory. 3 games out of 3. We've now scored 12 goals in those 3 games. We have conceded, how many did you concede? 4. We've now conceded 4 in those 3 games. It's good to see, man. Next up, we have Orlando City and then Chelsea. We should see the likes of Fabio Vieira in those games. We should see the likes of Smith Rowe, Tomiyasu. Things will look good. But from today, if I was to take something, I'm going to come to the player ratings. I think most of the players played well once again, especially the ones we expecting to start, because the ones who came from the bench, like Bellerin and those guys, I don't expect them to be here this next season. The ones who started, Gabriel Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, I expect them to start against Crystal Palace in the first game, and they did okay. Tavares, I'm going to come to him the player ratings, but crossing still needs some working, but that's where the loan deal will help. So that is how the game went. A very, very good victory for us. Convincing, clean sheet. Cannot complain at all against a fellow Premier League team. Remember, this is not just a team that you're facing from nowhere that is not a Premier League experience. This is a Premier League team, remember. So that's how it went. Let's get to the player ratings next. It's going to be as quickly as possible. Obviously, this game has been played very, very late, and then we'll be fresh tomorrow to talk more about this game. Matt Turner will get a 7 for today. Last time, I think I gave him like a 5 or something. Today, he kept a clean sheet. He played more than anyone else today. He did okay. Cannot fault him at all. He made a couple of good saves, kept his clean sheet and his first Arsenal clean sheet. Good to see. I'm going to give him a 7 for today. Next up, the center backs. Gabriel gets a 7. There's no way you can sell this guy. Like, if you sell this guy, you're just making, it's not a backward step. It's like 100 backward steps. If you sell Gabriel, you cannot sell Gabriel. I don't care if Juventus want to give us 70 million. I do not care. You have to keep this player in your team. So Gabriel, I am going to give him a 7 for today. Very solid as usual. Those other guys did not have a chance to do anything. Calvert-Lewin, Demarai Gray did not have a chance against Gabriel. And this is with Saliba. He's okay with White as well. Like, Gabriel is the one guy that we're talking about, White and Saliba, who's going to play between them, but none of us is asking who's going to play between Gabriel and someone else. Gabriel is definitely going to start. So Gabriel for today gets a 7. He did okay as well. Leadership, I'm seeing some leadership qualities in him as well. Just a bit. He's also good at English these days. Just a few. Give him another 1 year, and he'll be very, very fluent in it, and he'll be comfortable with even captaining a team, maybe assistant captain or something. So Gabriel for today gets a 7. His centre back partner Saliba. That is literally. I don't know if you guys believe this. This is the first time you're seeing Saliba playing in an Arsenal shirt. He was okay. Like Everton did not. We did not. We're not under the cosh for too long. Like Everton did not really like attack us for 5 minutes straight. No, like we are the ones who had the ball most. So I can't really say like Gabriel and Saliba were 100% tested like they will be like against Liverpool or Man City. But whatever they had to do, they did it okay without any mistakes. So you cannot fault it. That's why I'm giving them a 7. And the reason I'm not giving them high is because they were on the pitch for how many minutes? So Saliba and Gabriel both went off in the 70th minute. So that's not the entire game, but for the time they're on the pitch, I'm going to give them a 7. I think it was solid enough. I cannot wait to see him next season. That is one thing that I'm very, very glad I don't have to make that decision for Arteta. Who plays between Saliba, and Ben White. That is something that I cannot wait to see, because I still believe Ben White is a very good defender, especially in the second season. I'm expecting him to improve all the factors that he wasn't. If there was something that he wasn't good at last season, I'm expecting him to improve on it next season. So last season there was a lot of pressure, him coming in 50 million, all that. Let's see how it does. Saliba gets a 7. It's very interesting because in the second half we switched to a back 5. So if we use a back 5 next zone in a couple of games, you could see Saliba, Ben White, and Gabriel all on the pitch at the same time. Tavares gets a 6. He was part of the team that kept a clean sheet, but his crossing is still a bit all over the place. He got a couple of chances to cross, and then it was way too long, like an easy cross. He was all over the place. So the crosses he need to improve. That is why we are sending him on loan, to improve on stuff like that, decision making, crosses, the small things that he doesn't have. But he gets a 6. I wouldn't really complain about anything defensively. He was okay. Cedric gets a 7. Now, a lot of you have been saying, Cedric, why is he at Arsenal? He should be going. I prefer Bellerin to stay. No, I don't think Cedric is a disaster at all. We've had worse defenders than Cedric at Arsenal, believe me. Lichtstein and all these guys. Cedric's corners today, very, very good. The Jesus goal came from a Cedric corner. Xhaka hit the post from a Cedric corner. His deliveries were very good. So for that, I gave him an extra point than Tavares. So Cedric for today gets a 7. I cannot complain about. I think he's not like an Ashley Cole, like we had an Ashley Cole or a Lauren back in the day or something like that. But especially in the emergency situation, Cedric can really help us, and he has that experience. He can play on the left side. Maybe if you don't have Tien and Zinchenko on the pitch, Cedric can play for you on the left. So he cannot get any better than that, than a player who can play a couple of positions. And he's a defender who can take set pieces. So I'll be happy if we keep him on the bench. But if you ask me, Cedric and Bellerin, I definitely keep Cedric. Let's go to the midfield next. So those are the defenders. Turner gets a 7. Same with Gabriel and Saliba and Cedric. And then Tavares gets a 6 because of his crossing. His crossing he needs to work on a bit. Xhaka gets a 7 for today. Hit the post. He looks like a threat. Every time we take corners, like he might score a couple of goals this season. He had it here first. He might score a couple of goals this season from the set piece. I'd not be surprised at all. He looks very good from corners and stuff. He knows how to position himself. He's a massive threat from corners, so he can help us in that. And in the midfield, he did give away the ball once. I didn't forget, but didn't really result to anything. I think Turner saved it or something. But other than that, he was okay. We do expect him to be here next season. Obviously, he needs to improve, because if Zinchenko comes in, he's probably the one who's going to be on the bench, his position. Because if Tierney starts, it's only that Xhaka position that I can realistically see Zinchenko playing from the first game of the season. Zinchenko can play a lot of positions for us, but from the start of the season, it's either that Tierney position or that Xhaka position. So if Xhaka is not careful, he will lose that role. But for today, he gets a 7. His midfield partner, Partey, he looked relaxed. I'm going to give him a 6. He was only on for 45 minutes as well, so I'm going to only give him a 6. Nothing really fancy. Didn't make any mistakes. Didn't have that much to do. There's a couple of times he put up a couple of good passes, quick passes, like what we love. Like Gabriel passes the ball to him, and instead of waiting too long to push the ball forward, he passed it to Martinelli very quickly, and we are on the attack right away. That is what I like from Partey. Quick thinking, quick moves, no need to waste time. He's going to get a 6 for today. I really hope he can stay fit, man, because if you have Partey fit, and if you have Zinchenko in that team, and you have hopefully Tielemans, please, if you can get Tielemans, and then even if you have Lokonga Elneny coming in the second half, you're good to go. As long as Partey can stay fit, he adds a lot that we don't have. There's some players who you can replace, and you can say, you know what, it's fine. If this plays in there, we can just get another one. Partey, you can't really get all those qualities in one. Like the way he pushes forward, the way he's not scared of having a shot from corners. He's not scared of trying to hit the ball. The way he's very quick in midfield. Like if you compare Xhaka and Partey in terms of quickness in midfield, he's way faster than Xhaka. That's why he doesn't pick up as many yellow cards as Xhaka, because Xhaka is very slow, and when the midfielder turns him, Xhaka will pick up 15 yellow cards in a season. Partey will pick up 5 to 6. So Partey gets a 6. Next midfielder is Odegaard. I'm going to give him a 6, only on for 45 minutes. He did what he had to do. He was our captain today. So I think that is definitely what you're going to see next season. Odegaard as the captain. of Arsenal Football Club. Who knew, man? Like, he was only on loan last season, but he's really, really proved himself. Our second best player from last season, according to the fans, behind Saka. I really think he's going to have a good season. Like, I'm talking about more than 10 assists in the Premier League, because Jesus up front now, Saka and Nketiah, if he keeps on firing like he did at the end of last season, I can see Odegaard getting more than 10 assists and improving on his goal tally from last season. So Odegaard gets a 6 for today. Only 45 minutes. We will see more of him in the upcoming friendly matches. Martinelli is amazing, man. Let me just tell you, Martinelli is absolutely amazing. The one thing I love about him is how direct he is. Like, when he gets a ball, like, he will run past the defender. Like, he doesn't care who you are, how quick you are, which position you are in. He just takes the ball and runs past you. If you tackle him, fine, he will try again. He gets to the byline, he's going to cross the ball with his left foot, right foot does not matter. And any defender who's going to mark Martinelli is going to have a hard time, just like Saka on the other side. And I'm really, really happy Martinelli recovered from his injury from like 2 years ago, and he now looks 100% fit, and he's going to have a good season as well. Now, Martinelli, yes, we are going to sign a winger, but expect Martinelli to start in the first game of the season against Crystal Palace. I don't see why he shouldn't, because he finished the season well, and he's doing well right now as well in the friendly matches. He managed more minutes. He managed 70 minutes today. So I'm happy with him, and how direct he is and crossing. And just like Saka, he seems to have a very good relationship with Jesus already. I do understand they're Brazilians, but how many times have they played in Brazil together? Maybe twice or thrice. But he's looking very comfortable with the runs. He's looking energetic. He's looking ready for next season. If you're to ask me right now, out of our players, out of our entire squad of those 33 players, which two players look most ready? I'd tell you Jesus and Martinelli. Those two, they're looking very ready for next season. They're looking like if we start the season tomorrow, they'll fire. So Martinelli gets a 7. Saka gets a 7 as well. He was only on for 45 minutes, but he did a lot of work. He gave that left back, I think it was Nkunku and Godfrey, gave them a hard time on that left side for only 45 minutes. If he was on for longer, we probably would have added a third. If we stayed with these guys on the pitch, we'd have had 3 or 4 goals. Saka, again, just like Martinelli, is very direct. He will run past players. That is what you need from your winger, someone who can run past players. And he scored a goal today. So I'm giving him a 7, but because he was only on for 45 minutes, and the goal was mostly Jesus's work. But I'd not complain if you gave him an 8. But I've saved the 8 for someone else. So Saka, I'm going to give him a 7, but his 7 is slightly higher than Martinelli's 7. But both of them are great again today. Jesus gets an 8 again. Man of the match. And this is not just because I'm excited Jesus is an Arsenal player. No, I'm talking about the performance on the pitch. He got a goal and he got an assist, a very good finish. And this assist for Saka, it was Saka's goal, but it was basically almost all Jesus's work running past players. He's looking like he's been an Arsenal player for like 6-7 years already. Like, super excited to see how he does next season. But as I said, he's going to get 15 assists plus 10 goals, 15 goals plus 10 assists next season. I can see it. Like, he's going to get chances from Saka, from Odegaard, from Fabio Vieira. He's going to get a couple of games where he scores 2 goals, a couple of games where he gets he can even probably score a hat-trick next season for us. Really cannot wait, man. But Gabriel Jesus, another super performance. He's pressing. Like, the center backs do not have 2 seconds to rest. Like, they get the ball and Jesus is pressing, and it's a friendly match, remember, but he's pressing with all his energy. He does not want to just say, no, it is a friendly, I'll save my energy for the Premier League season. No, he's there competing. He knows Nketiah is there. He knows Nketiah, if he improves his form as well, Nketiah can easily take away his position. He wants to prove himself to the Arsenal fans, and he wants to prove himself to the Man City coach. He wants to show him, maybe I'm better than Haaland, maybe something like that. And for me, he doesn't need to prove anything to me. I already know he's the best number 9 in the world. So Gabriel Jesus, goal plus assist, once again, 2 games out of 2 man of the match awards for him from me. Gabriel Jesus gets an 8 for today. Last time he got a 9, so it wasn't as good as last time, but that is probably because he was only on for 45 minutes. If he was on for 90, you'd have probably got another goal. So Jesus gets an 8 for today. So that's the starting lineup. Let's do a recap of this. Turner gets a 7, Gabriel 7, Saliba 7, Tavares 6, Cedric 7, Xhaka 7 as well, Partey 6, Odegaard 6, Martinelli gets a 7, Saka gets a 7, Jesus gets an 8. So let's do the ones who came from the bench. Some of them are on for 45 minutes, some are on for only 20 minutes. Niles, I'm going to give a 6. He was okay after coming on at halftime. he didn't really do anything much. He didn't have much to do against like Everton, like in terms of attacking. But whatever he needed to do, he was okay. So he gets a 6. Very versatile players we've already talked about. Bellerin gets a 6 as well. A bit shaky in a couple of situations when he got forward. He looked confused, but again, I'm not really keen on what he does because I know he's going to leave. So Bellerin gets a 6. Pepe gets a 6 as well. Had a couple of times to shoot the ball. He wasn't bad at all. But again, if you compare the 45 minutes Saka had and you compare the 45 minutes Pepe had, and I'm not being unfair, just watch the game. Just watch the 45 minutes Saka had and watch the 45 minutes Pepe had. And then you just come and tell me what do you think about those 45 minutes compared to each other. But I'm going to give him a 6, just like Niles and Bellerin. Ketty gets a 6 as well, not quite as good as his past 2 games, but he was only on for 45 minutes as well. Didn't really get that many chances to score, so he's going to get a 6 for today. We'll probably see him and Jesus a lot together next season. That is something that I expect. El Neni gets a 6 as well, not quite as good as his performance from Nuremberg, but today I think in the second half, Arteta just told them, just keep the ball and let's finish this game and go to Miami to play against Orlando and go to Orlando, Florida to play against Orlando City and play against Chelsea as well. Just save the energy because Everton are really playing a rough game. I don't know who told them this is a Premier League game. Like they were trying to injure our players, those guys. And I remember Godfrey stepped on Tomiyasu and he never got sent off. And he was trying to break Jesus' leg today. I wish they got relegated. I see why Liverpool hates them. Holding gets a 6. Holding gets a 6 as well. Wasn't on for too long, only got 45 minutes. Now the next one, the next 4 players only had 20 minutes. So Walters gets a 5 just quickly. Lokonga gets a 5 and Nelson gets a 5. Now the other one that I've left out, I'm going to give a 4. And this is worrying. It's a bit worrying. Murray gets a 4 again. Like last time I gave him the lowest against Nuremberg, and today I've given him the lowest again. Not because I hate Murray anything. I know I have no reason of hating him. Like if he was a good player, you just keep him and play him next to Gabriel. I love left-footed centre backs. But then again, he came on. He was a bit slow. He picked up a yellow card. Like I'm pretty sure he's like one of the only players to pick up a yellow card today, like Arsenal players. I think he was the only one, and it was because he was a bit slow, like a needless challenges. And he did that. There's a time him and Ben White played against, I think it was the first game of the season against Brentford and also Man City. They were putting in a couple of unneeded challenges and fouls and giving away free kicks. And I said I wanted to see improvement from Ben White in that. He did. He stopped doing it later on in the season. Pablo Mari is still doing it. Like it's very easy to turn him, and just ask Lukaku how easy it is to turn Pablo Mari. Sorry, so he gets a 4 for today. A needless yellow card. You cannot do that in the Premier League. You're going to face players like you're going to come across really, really good strikers. You're going to come across luckily for him, he won't come across Lukaku, but the top strikers in the Premier League, you're going to have to mark Haaland in the Premier League. You're going to have to play against Salah when he plays as a 9. You're going to have to play against tall strikers in the Premier League. You have to be really good. And Pablo Mari, again, today, very worrying. He gets the lowest rating out of anyone else 2 games in a row. But then again, if you aren't really sure about Pablo Mari, this just makes up your mind because I don't think he's going to be here. I think it's going to be Holding, Saliba, Ben White, and also Gabriel. But if he stays, he has a lot to improve on, man. He has a 4. It's crazy how things have gone south for him. There was a time we were trying to compare him and Gabriel, like who should start? Is it Gabriel or Pablo Mari? Long at those days. Last time I forgot to rate Arteta. For today, it's a friendly match, so it's a bit hard. I'm just going to give him a 7 probably. We kept a clean sheet. We did what we had to do. It was a slow second half, but I do understand it's just game management. So he just gets a 7 for today. And we've won 3 out of 3 preseason games. It's already better than last season. Last season, I think we lost to Chelsea, we lost to Tottenham, we lost to Hibernian or Rangers and drew with one of them. I think last season we didn't even win one preseason game. And then you carry that form into this season. And then you saw what happened. We lost the first 3 Premier League games. The moment you lose 4 preseason games, you carry that energy into the season and you lose them. Now, after winning these preseason games, if you can get good results against Orlando City, Chelsea, and Sevilla, maybe a couple of wins and maybe a draw somewhere, then there's no reason why we shouldn't start the season great. And the players look ready, most of them, especially Jesus and Martinelli, all of them look ready. So Jesus, man of the match once again. Really, really good to see. Let's see. Very nice, says Ali. Sunday says very impressive. Thank you guys for watching. By the way, there's 50 of you watching on Facebook and YouTube. It's crazy times, man. Like I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm not tired. Like I'm super tired. But when it comes to Arsenal, Arsenal comes fast before sleep. Very impressive, says Sunday. Chewy says it's like Jesus wants to perform miracles at Arsenal this season. Keep it up. We needed Jesus, and Jesus is here to provide for us, Chewy. That's what we are going to say. Jesus is here to save us. Good morning, Vincent. How are you? And today is Sunday, funny enough. Tactical says, I'm very tired, but so happy with the way the team performed, especially in the first half. Jesus is amazing. It's absolutely fantastic, man. Again, another superb performance. And these are just friendly matches. I could not believe when people are talking about why we're signing Jesus is not worth 45 million. Maybe it's not worth 45 million because it's worth 70 million. Maybe that is what you mean. But in terms of performances so far, there's nothing wrong you can say about him. His pressing is fantastic. His goals is fantastic already. Scoring goals, he scored with a header, he scored with his right foot. He gets himself into the correct positions. His understanding with Saka and Martinelli look very good already. I cannot complain at all. So he gets for today he gets an 8 man of the match again. Vincent says, where is Fabio Vieira? I think he's still recovering from an injury, but he should be back. Bellerin, Pepe 6, no. Pepe, what do you mean tricky? Bellerin, Pepe 6, no. So lower than that. Do you mean lower than that? I wouldn't mind it if you gave them lower, but we didn't really consider goal and Bellerin was on the pitch. But in terms of going forward, it looked funny a couple of times. But I'm just being nice. I'm just being nice. I guess we won the game with a clean sheet. I did not see Fabio Vieira. Yeah, he wasn't there. If Smith wasn't there as well. Tomias wasn't there. We have 33 players on the trip. You can't have all of them playing. So next time you'll probably see those ones, Smith, Tomias, and all those guys. Tuned in from Kenya says, Eric, I appreciate it. And Kenneth says, you need to do watch-alongs. I usually do sometimes. I don't mind, but definitely not at this time, this hour, man. Like crazy. This is crazy hours, man. Those games in USA, like Asia, African, European time, we're having to watch these games at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So, and this is a Saturday. It's lucky. Next time you're going to play on a Wednesday at this time, so it's going to be crazy. RK says, how you doing? I am doing good. Arsenal is winning games. Jesus is scoring goals. What can we complain about? Nothing. So positives from today, Gabriel Jesus scoring again. Not just scoring, he's looking very good in terms of pressuring the defenders. He understands the assignment and he's doing it very, very well. Saka looks very ready for next season already, and this is the first game he's playing. He looks very ready already. Martinelli on the left side, the way he's taking on players, energetic always. He's not scared of any defender. I cannot see why. I'm so serious. Even if Rafinha came to Arsenal, I wouldn't have seen him benching Saka or Martinelli. Not at all. He looked very good as well. Martinelli. And then in terms of it was good to see Partey playing finally. We've waited a couple of weeks to see him play. Turner, the goalkeeper, he made a couple of good saves today and he kept a clean sheet, his first Arsenal clean sheet back in his home country of USA. We played against a Premier League team. We kept a clean sheet. We won by 2-0, and it's now 3 games out of 3 wins out of 3. Perfect, man. It's a perfect it's a perfect preseason so far. Yeah, you're lucky, Ken. You're very lucky. So it's around are you like in the East Coast or West Coast? East Coast, like you enjoy the game maybe at 7 or something. West Coast 5, 4 o'clock. It's a decent time for you, man. For us here on the other side of the pond, we are having to wake up and sleep at crazy hours to support Arsenal. But I am not complaining. If we support them like this and they give us the results, we are not complaining at all. Negatives from today, again, I have to start with Pablo Mari. He was, again, 2 games in a row. He's gotten the list in the player ratings. I think last time I gave him a 3. Today I've given him 4. And keep in mind, he was only on for, how many minutes was he on? He was only on for 20 minutes. And he made a couple of mistakes, got a yellow card. I was like, really, man? This 20 minutes to prove yourself. You cannot do that, man. You cannot do that. And any other negative, I can't really think of any other negative. Maybe again, I'm going to have to go onto Pepe again. If you love Pepe, I'm so sorry. Like I look like I hate Pepe. I don't hate any Arsenal players, but if he's going to stay, I really need him to improve a lot. Like if you watch the 45 minutes from Saka and you watch the 45 minutes from Pepe today, it's totally different. But yeah, I can still give him an excuse. Maybe in the first half you're going for the game, in the second half you're relaxed, fine. But you cannot really relax when you're trying to prove yourself. There's no time to relax. That's why the likes of Sevilla don't want to give us more than 18 million for him. But a lot of positives to take from today. We will talk about this game more tomorrow in live streams, both on YouTube and Facebook. Hope you guys got to watch the game. But as of now, hit the like button if you're happy about Jesus. It's so late, man. Let us sleep. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.